Taurus, can I ask you something? When was the last time you truly felt still? Not just the absence of noise or the pause between tasks, but the kind of stillness that melts into your bones, the kind that doesn't demand anything from you. You've been holding it all together for so long, haven't you? The planner, the steady one, the one who shows up even when your soul feels like it's dragging behind your body. There's a silence inside you that's not peaceful, it's exhausted. A quiet that doesn't soothe, but suffocates. And still, you smile, you nod, you carry, because that's what you do, right? You carry. But my dear Taurus, have you ever stopped to ask, who is carrying you? There's a part of you that craves the calm. Not the temporary escape, not the 5-minute break between responsibilities, but real, embodied calm, the kind that says, I am safe now. I don't have to perform, I don't have to protect. Peace doesn't have to be earned, Taurus. You were born deserving of it, even if no one ever told you that. So breathe with me, right here, in this first moment. No pressure to change, no need to fix. Just feel the weight of your own tiredness. Acknowledge it, not to push through, but to honor it. This is not weakness. This is your truth whispering back to you. And today, we begin to listen. Let's go back, Taurus. Back to the first time you decided to stay quiet. Not because you had nothing to say, but because you thought it would make things easier. Maybe it was at home, when emotions were loud and messy, and you figured if you stayed calm, maybe everything else would calm down too. Or maybe it was later, when love started to feel like a test, and you believed that being easy to love meant being easy to keep. So you stopped asking for more. You stopped needing. You stopped showing the parts of yourself that felt too much. And in the silence that followed, you slowly disappeared from your own life. But here's the truth. Your silence was never the problem. You were trying to create peace in a world that didn't know how to hold it. You were trying to protect everyone, even if it meant abandoning yourself. Taurus, you are not difficult. You are not a burden. You are not too emotional or too needy. You are simply someone who learned to quiet their pain so others could stay comfortable. But now it's time to return to the voice you buried, to the needs you postponed, to the feelings you softened until they became invisible. This is not about blame. This is about remembering. Remembering that the version of you who stayed silent was trying to survive. And now, it's time to live. Now that we've remembered the silence, let's talk to the one who lived inside it. Close your eyes for a moment, Taurus. Imagine standing in front of the version of you who stopped asking for what they needed. The one who swallowed their voice to keep the peace. The one who smiled, even when they wanted to cry. What would you say to them if you could? Would you whisper, I'm sorry you felt so alone? Would you hold their hands and tell them you were never too much? Would you let them know they didn't need to earn love by shrinking? Because that version of you is still here. They're not gone. They've just been waiting for you to notice, to reach back, to say, I see you. I haven't forgotten you. You see, Taurus healing isn't about becoming someone new. It's about coming home to the parts of you that had to go quiet just to survive. And it might feel strange, even scary, to reconnect with those parts. They carry pain. They carry longing. But they also carry your truth. You can talk to yourself gently now. You don't have to be the tough one all the time. You don't need to armor up just to exist. You are allowed to soften. You are allowed to be real. Even if that means being raw, being unsure, being tender, that is not weakness. That is where your peace begins. Taurus, have you ever noticed how you always make room for others? How you listen deeply, hold space gently, offer comfort without even being asked? You're the steady ground when someone's world is shaking. The quiet warmth that says, you're safe with me. Whoa, but here's what we rarely talk about. What happens when you need that same kind of care? When the strong one suddenly feels small? You see, being the dependable one often comes with invisible weight. People forget you have breaking points. They assume your strength is endless. But even mountains erode. Even stars burn out. You, Taurus, are made of flesh and soul, not stone. And it's okay to say, I'm tired. It's okay to want arms to fall into too. Sometimes healing looks like letting someone else carry you, asterisk. Not because you're weak, but because you're worthy. Worthy of softness, worthy of tending, worthy of being seen even in the moments when you don't feel strong. You don't have to keep proving your value by staying unshaken. Even the earth rests. Even the ocean stills. Let yourself be held, Taurus. You've carried so much for so long. This time, let the love you've given come back to you. Taurus, there's something else we need to talk about. Control. You see, somewhere along the way, you learned that if you just kept everything in order, maybe nothing would fall apart. So you planned. You anticipated. You held things together, even when you were quietly unraveling inside. You became the one who double-checked, who stayed 2 steps ahead, who made sure no one had to worry, not even you. But here's the truth. Control is not the same as safety. Sometimes, it's just fear dressed up in structure. And I know it's terrifying to loosen your grip, to let go of the checklist, the timeline, the constant what-ifs. Because what if everything crumbles? What if no one catches you? But Taurus, what if it doesn't? What if life actually begins the moment you stop holding your breath? You've spent so long trying to be the anchor, but even anchors need the sea. Even stability needs space to move, to dance, to feel free. It's okay to let go, not all at once, but slowly. One small release at a time. Let the moment surprise you. Let joy come without a plan. Let the unknown feel like a doorway, not a threat. You are not abandoning your strength. You are expanding it by trusting that life can still hold you even when your hands are open. This is how your peace returns. Let's pause here, Taurus, and breathe. Really take a breath. Not the shallow kind you've been surviving on, but one that reaches all the way down into the parts of you you've kept quiet. Because here's the thing, peace doesn't arrive with fanfare. It tiptoes in, often unnoticed. Sometimes it looks like a quiet morning where nothing hurts. Sometimes it feels like laughter that bubbles up without guilt. Sometimes it's simply the silence that no longer feels heavy. You've spent so long bracing for impact, waiting for the next crack in the ground. But what if the ground is finally holding? What if this moment, this stillness is real? Healing doesn't always come in breakthroughs. Sometimes it's in the ordinary, the soft, the unnoticed. Like the way your shoulders fall a little lower these days, the way you don't apologize as much for your feelings, the way you say no and mean it, the way you let joy land without questioning if you deserve it. These things matter, Taurus. They are proof that something within you has shifted, that the war inside is quieting. You are not broken. You are not late. You are not behind. You're just breathing again, and that is a miracle. Taurus, let's talk about something sacred now. Your boundaries. Not the walls you've built out of fear, but the gentle fences you're learning to grow out of love. Because peace, true peace, isn't just about silence. It's about protection. It's about choosing what you allow in and what you no longer carry. And for someone like you, who is always open wide for others, this part is hard. You've been conditioned to say yes, to stay polite, to keep the peace, even at your own expense. But here's the shift. Your peace is no longer up for negotiation. You've walked through too much fire to return to places that make you small. You're no longer available for people who drain you, for conversations that dishonor you, for roles that erase your truth. And this isn't cold. This isn't cruel. This is clarity. It's the kind of clarity that says, I can love you and still walk away. I can care and still choose me. Your boundaries are not rejection. They are self-respect in action. They are the gates through which peace enters and chaos is kept out. So if you feel guilty, Taurus, remember this. You are not here to burn out in service of others. You are here to bloom fully, freely, and on your own terms. Let your boundaries be a blessing. Let them be the voice of your healing. And let peace know it finally has a home in you. Taurus, do you remember who you were before the world told you who to be? That quiet child, slow to trust, but so deep in feeling. The one who noticed small things, the sway of trees, the warmth in a touch, the honesty in someone's eyes. You've always carried a sensitivity the world couldn't always understand. And so, you hit it. You toughened up. You learned to smile when it hurt, to stay silent when your heart wanted to speak. But your softness, Taurus, that's never been your weakness. It's your gift. The way you hold space for others, the way your presence makes people feel safe, the way you remember what someone needs before they even ask. That's not a flaw, that's a kind of magic. And I know, it's hard to keep that magic alive in a world that moves fast. Demande more, presse loudness over depth. But here's the truth. The world needs what you carry. It needs tenderness, stillness, steadiness. It needs someone who doesn't rush the moment, who listens with their whole heart, who chooses substance over spectacle. You are not behind. You are not too much. You are not too slow. You are sacred timing in a world obsessed with urgency. So breathe, Taurus, and honor who you've always been, not just the version you learned to become, because your peace lives in that original you. Taurus, let's talk about the quiet victories, the ones no one else sees. The mornings you got out of bed, when every part of you wanted to disappear. The days you chose to be kind, even when the world wasn't kind back. The boundaries you set, though your voice trembled as you spoke. The moments you forgave, not because they deserved it, but because your soul needed the release. You've walked so far, Taurus, and I know the journey hasn't been loud. It hasn't been flashy, but it has been brave. There's a courage in your healing that doesn't get enough applause. You've had to rebuild yourself, not just once, but over and over. And each time, you came back softer, not harder. That's strength. That's resilience. That's heart. And no, not everyone will understand your path. Some may call it slow, some may call it strange, but they don't see the sacredness of what you're doing. The beauty in your becoming. You are not where you were, and you're not yet where you're going. But this middle place, this in-between, is holy. It's where the roots go deeper, where the foundations grow stronger, where your peace is no longer a visitor, but a permanent resident. So honor your quiet victories, Taurus. They matter more than you know, and you exactly as you are already enough. Taurus, this is your closing breath, but not an ending. Because what's awakening in you now is just the beginning. This peace you're building, it's not a place you visit. It's the home you carry inside. You've done the hard work. You've peeled away the old skins, grieved the dreams that no longer fit, and listened to the silence until it finally spoke back. And what it said was this: you are safe now. You can rest here. You don't have to fight anymore. Can you feel that, Taurus? The shift, the softening, the stillness that isn't emptiness but fullness. You are no longer running from. You are walking toward a life that matches your pace, toward relationships that meet you where you are, toward mornings that begin with ease, not anxiety. You are not behind. You are in divine timing. And though the world may try to pull you back, rush you, shake you, demand you hustle, you've learned something precious. That stillness is not laziness. That peace is not passivity. That healing is not weakness. It's wisdom. It's power. It's yours. So take one final breath here. Inhale the journey. Exhale the doubt. And step gently into your next chapter with both feet on sacred ground. Because Taurus, you are home now.